You've probably seen this on developer Twitter. Someone types a sentence like, "Build me a SaaS dashboard with login and payments." 30 seconds later, an entire app appears. No manual coding, no architecture diagram, just vibes. This workflow has a name now, vibe coding. And depending on who you ask, it's either the future of programming or a security disaster waiting to happen. So what actually is vibe coding? Why did it explode in 2025? And why are many senior engineers already moving beyond it? Let's break it down. The term vibe coding was coined in 2025 by AI researcher Andrej Karpathy. His description was simple. You describe what you want in natural language and the AI writes the code for you. Instead of editing files manually, you guide development through prompts. If the feature works, great. If it breaks, you ask the AI to fix it. The defining idea is this. You stop treating code as something you write and start treating it as something the AI produces. Your job becomes directing the intent, not typing the syntax. In other words, programming shifts from writing instructions to describing outcomes. But that raises a huge question. If developers aren't reading the code anymore, who's responsible for whether it's correct? To understand why vibe coding exploded, you need to look at how software changed. Developers often describe three eras. Software 1.0. Humans write explicit instructions. Languages like C++, Java, Python. Software 2.0. Machine learning models learn behavior from data. Software 3.0. Natural language becomes the interface for programming. Large language models crossed the capability threshold around 2025. They became good enough to generate full applications from prompts. But the real driver wasn't just better AI, it was developer pain. Modern apps require an absurd amount of setup. Front-end frameworks, authentication providers, cloud infrastructure, databases, CI pipelines, payment APIs. Before writing your first feature, you might configure 10 different systems. Vibe coding promised to remove that friction. Instead of wiring everything manually, you just say, build a React app with authentication and Stripe payments. And the AI scaffolds the whole thing. That's incredibly powerful, but it also hides a lot of complexity. Modern coding agents don't just autocomplete text. They run a multi-stage engineering pipeline. Step 1. Intent understanding. The model analyzes your prompt and extracts requirements. What frameworks are implied? What files are needed? What APIs must exist? Step 2. Planning. The system breaks the task into smaller steps. Create components, define database schema, implement authentication routes. Many systems use a loop called plan, act, reflect. The AI plans the work, executes it, then evaluates the result. Step 3. Code generation and orchestration. Instead of producing one file, the agent edits many files at once. Front-end UI, back-end endpoints, configuration files. Some tools even spawn multiple agents in parallel. One handles the database, another builds the interface, another writes tests. Step 4. Environment setup. The agent installs dependencies, modifies configs, and runs terminal commands. You don't even see the setup steps. Step 5. Automated testing. The agent runs the code, reads error logs, patches bugs, and retries. This loop repeats until the program compiles. At that point, control returns to you. From the outside it looks like magic, but internally it's closer to an autonomous engineering pipeline. Imagine building a small finance tracker. Users log in, track savings goals, make deposits. The naive vibe coding prompt might be, build a finance app with login and payments. The AI will generate something, but the result will be generic and often wrong. Professional teams use a layered approach. First, they define technical context, frameworks, database, payment provider. Next, they describe user behavior. What screens exist? What actions users can perform? Finally, they define constraints and edge cases: authentication expiration, payment verification, database consistency. This structured prompting dramatically improves output. But notice something important. The developer is no longer just writing prompts, they're defining architecture, which leads to the big debate in the industry. Is vibe coding actually engineering? Here's the uncomfortable truth. AI-generated code is often insecure. One industry report found that roughly 45% of AI-generated code contained vulnerabilities. Another benchmark showed that while many generated solutions worked, only about 10% were actually secure. Why does this happen? Because language models optimize for working examples, not safe ones. Common problems show up again and again. Hard-coded API keys, missing input validation, weak password hashing, misconfigured course policies. These mistakes are easy to generate and easy to miss. There's another issue too: technical debt. If developers accept AI code without understanding it, the code base becomes a black box. At small scale, that's fine, but as the project grows, the AI loses track of the architecture. Files multiply, logic becomes duplicated. Eventually you hit what engineers call the 6-month wall. A bug appears and nobody understands the system anymore. Fixing it may take longer than rewriting the entire app. Because of these risks, many teams are moving towards something more structured. It's called Agentic Engineering. The idea is simple. AI agents still generate code, but the developers stay in charge of architecture and verification. Think of the AI as a robot workforce. It can write files quickly, run tests, refactor components, but the human acts as the architect, defining constraints, reviewing changes, rejecting unsafe patterns. The difference is subtle but important. Vibe coding treats AI as the developer. Agentic engineering treats AI as the execution engine, and that distinction matters for production systems. Despite the criticism, vibe coding isn't useless. It's excellent for rapid experimentation, weekend projects, UI prototypes, internal tools, or testing product ideas. In those scenarios, speed matters more than long-term maintainability. But for anything user-facing, anything handling real data, anything running in production, blindly accepting AI code is risky. In those cases, AI should accelerate engineering, not replace it. So here's the takeaway. Vibe coding isn't fake, it's a real shift in how software gets built, but it works best when paired with discipline. Let the AI generate code, but never outsource understanding. Because the future of programming probably isn't humans versus AI, it's humans directing systems of AI engineers. If you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe to Devsplainers.